A train reactor spin fire, the NFT analyzer, diving deep into projects. He's the crypto energizer, from remit coins to tokens. He's got all the intel.
Man, I love being right. Love it. Love it. I'm right a lot. No, shit, sorry. That's, I think Andrew Tate rubbed off on me a little bit. Tell you guys, that Thread Guy interview, it's pretty good. It's pretty fucking good. GM Sir Swizzer, good to see you, brother. Feel like I haven't seen your name pop up in the comments. Great seeing you, man, like always. GMs to you guys. All right, what am I right about? Okay, I'm not right necessarily about the price of Bitcoin. Maybe a little bit. I think I'm right about what the ETFs mean to crypto, what the ETFs mean to Bitcoin, and in a way, in a roundabout way, that does have to do with the price of Bitcoin right now. I'm blown away. I'm shocked. I'm pretty damn excited here to see Bitcoin holding as strong as it is here at 57K. Look, yesterday, and I'm waiting to see other people comment on this. I probably need to find some good data and source it myself, but data about how significant the sell-off was yesterday. All right, so we know that Germany sold almost $1 billion worth of Bitcoin yesterday, and by the way, they're still selling today. They are, and they're working their way through their bags. I mean, they're at this point over half through it. Maybe 60% through their bag. That selling pressure is going to be over here soon, which is awesome. But yesterday might have been the biggest day of Bitcoin liquidations in history. Really, in history, guys. Last week, July 4th, was the biggest day of liquidations since the FTX collapse. And that was, yes, because of Germany liquidating. At that point, hundreds of millions. Yesterday, hundreds of millions, but so close to $1 billion. I'm just going to say $1 billion. It was 951 mil last I saw. We'll round it up. We'll round it up to $1 billion. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of Bitcoin liquidated. I believe maybe it's not the biggest day of liquidations, but if it's not, it's top. It's up there. Top few. Massive day. And look at how the price absorbed that. Look at how the market absorbed that. So we dropped briefly throughout the day yesterday, but at this point, we're flat. We're actually above where we were this time yesterday. It's so impressive. And so going back to saying I'm right about, again, what the ETFs mean to this space, right about these new people coming in, having access to buy Bitcoin in this safer way to them through ETFs, and it making Bitcoin so much more accessible and actually so much more appealing to so many more people through those ETFs. So if the price falls, and I do think we're still going lower, 52, maybe 48, maybe. But I think we have a whole bunch of buyers, so if we dip, we don't stay there long like we used to. This may be a new era for Bitcoin. It might be. I certainly hope so. Ultimately, going to say this, don't care. I don't care. I think we're all here regardless, but we're all thinking 5 years out, 10 years out, 15 years out. So short term, we go lower, fine. But the takeaway here is those ETFs give us a level of support. Think of it like this. Think of how Blur, with the extra liquidity it brought in, kept floor prices propped up. I think it's pretty much agreed that's how that worked out. And the ETFs have a very similar effect on the Bitcoin market. So yesterday in particular, it's not a coincidence that we saw our best day of Bitcoin inflows in a month. It's not a coincidence. With that kind of selling pressure, $1 billion, we saw that month high in Bitcoin ETF inflows. So the level of support we're getting from these ETFs, it's massive. And what it does to stabilize Bitcoin, and really the crypto market as a whole, look at it and read it for what it is. It is a new phase of Bitcoin, and it's bringing some stability here. So we will have these periods of volatility, and no doubt we're going to have the most volatile period for crypto we've ever seen. That is still true. That is still happening right now. But we'll get those wild swings, and we'll get stabilization maybe quicker than ever. Maybe quicker than ever. So it's pretty excellent to see. Thank you, Sir, on the beard love. I appreciate the beard love. I put more time than usual into it just because if you got a beard, you know how this goes. You do a little work on it, and then you fuck it up, and you got to put a little more work to get it right, and then you might say, "There we go." One more little thing, and then you fuck it up. It took hours to get to this point. It's why I almost never touch it. But thank you, sir. Thank you. Tickle may join us today, by the way, guys. And for anybody who doesn't know, Tickle's my older brother. He is. I got two brothers in this space. I couldn't be luckier to work in this space and have family in this space too. So Tickle, my older brother, working with multiple projects over on Bitcoin at this point. And you guys know Henry the Grape is my younger brother. So I mean, you know, I'm so lucky, and it's the best. And my brothers are my best friends, and they know that. And it's cool I get to say that in front of people and get to work in this space with him. It's a treat. I'm super freaking lucky. So Tickle, if you get freed up, I know you're in some meetings, but coming up, we definitely want to talk a lot of Bitcoin today. A lot of Bitcoin, because everything in this market, NFTs, L2s, other blockchains like Solana, and crypto in general, everything hinges on Bitcoin's performance. You see it. When Bitcoin is struggling, everything struggles. That'll change one day too, but right now and for the foreseeable future, it is what it is. So we got a lot to talk about in Bitcoin, starting with what we already talked about, the ETFs, the record sell-off. But I want to get into ordinals. I want to get into runes. Definitely seeing some opportunities out there. We had the epic airdrop yesterday, and it feels like it's complete. I checked some of my wallets, and every wallet that should have an allocation does have an allocation, including blob holders. Guys, if you got your blobs, well, you got your airdrop too, which is pretty freaking fantastic. And it was a pretty sizable airdrop. I'm really surprised about it in a really good way. I'll save that for if... Oh, he can come up. Definitely can come up. Okay, cool. Well, I'll save that for when Tickle comes up. And I got some questions. I'm going to... Just because he's my brother, I'm not going to go easy. I question why it was released now with the market the way it is. It's a fair question. So maybe he's got insights into that. Would love to talk about it. Would love to talk about future plans in blobs and in epics. It is kind of two separate entities, similar to with Cyberkongs. You know, they've got their core project, and decentralized Promethean's totally separate. Epic is separate from Blob. Same team though. So would love to get into that stuff with Tickle. Just feels like there's a lot going on, believe it or not. As slow as the NFT market might feel, crypto just feels like there's stories bubbling up everywhere. Also seeing some really great examples of building, which I touched on in Inside NFTs this morning. MetaMask in particular. Actually thinking about it right now, ENS too, but hearing these staples of the industry now focusing on not hardcore degen offerings, but focusing on building to onboard the masses, to onboard the normies. No disrespect using that word, but the normies who aren't in crypto yet. So ENS with a bit of a refresh on their logo and their website, which is awesome, making it a little more friendly looking to Web2 users. And MetaMask tweaking their products. It's pretty fantastic to see, but Wallet Guard, they acquired last week, bringing some security tools into MetaMask. And then this morning announcing a new product that also makes onboarding the normies easy. I always feel like I'm disrespectful with that word. I don't mean to be. Hey, we're all normies in one place or another, right? But you know when you go on a website, an NFT project or an exchange, and you click, or you're greeted instantly by a wallet pop-up, connect your wallet, sign this message. I get it on OpenSea, and it frustrates the hell out of me. I hate going to OpenSea, and I still use that as my wallet browser, but I hate connecting my wallet. I just X right out. This is a new tool in MetaMask that allows you to customize your site or your contract. I think this is going to get technical, and I'm not going to get technical with it, but their product is probably very technical, and I don't have those details yet. But TLDR, you can go on those sites and not get the wallet pop-up, not have to connect. You can transact and not have to pay the gas up front. You can maybe pay it afterwards. So they'll define what that means and when you pay it and how and what you can do. But it's bringing a lot more flexibility to platforms to build with those kind of users in mind, which is awesome. I mean, if we hate connecting our wallets, what does a normie think when they are met by a wallet connect screen or a redirection to a wallet they have to install and wrap their head around and create their seed phrase and back it up? It ain't a great experience, and that's changing, and that's going to bring these other people in, and it will work. It'll work. All right, I'm going to drop a link to the show in the chat. Do me a favor and throw some likes on it and share that out with your buddies. Got some really, really cool stuff coming for you guys here.
Worcester Street, right?
Shush it. Shush it, Dave Portnoy. Sorry, I'm in pizza mode. Yeah, okay. Off topic, but I got a Sally's a Pizza coming today. Is it a pizza or a pizza? Either way, I got Sally's Pizza coming today. I'm just going to be honest. I'm having a hard time concentrating because of that. Just being honest with you guys. We're all friends. All right, let me get a link here. Also, I'm going to shield the show. I'm just going to do it, right? But if you're not subscribed over on YouTube, and I hope you are, if you're watching and not subscribed, guys, it helps a ton. It really, really does. When you like the videos, when you subscribe, even if you're not sharing the YouTube video, that's fine, honestly. But if you put a like on the video, it helps. If you drop a comment in the video, it helps a ton too. I read all the comments, by the way. I know, like, people say you shouldn't read the comments, and I get why, because there are some not nice comments pretty regularly, but I read them all. I like it. So if you leave comments, I'll read them. Do my best to start replying much better over there, especially on SlamX. It matters a lot. But again, if you're not subscribed here, what are you doing? Click it. Just click it. There you go. Anyway, lots more content coming to you soon. Lots more, can I say... Lots more announcements coming soon. Let me just say next week. Hope nobody's watching from the team. They're in a meeting right now, so I think they're not. Let me just say next week you're going to want to be tuning in. I'll just say that. And probably all week. Oh my God. I pulled up a link and then I closed it. Okay, hang on. Anyway, what are you guys up to? What are you seeing out there? Are you playing? Are you trading? Are you collecting? What are you doing? I'm curious. I don't know if we have a lot of buyers out there right now. I don't know. Thank you, Lemon. Yeah, there we go. Boom. No first from you, though, okay? It's interesting. It's a new way to get in. Oh, dare I pull up the chart? Did we reverse the curse yesterday, actually? Did we reverse the curse? Maybe. Okay, Tickle. I'm going to drop you a link here in a quick second. For the hell of it. Let's look at Bitcoin. Reverse the curse. Here we go. Oh, I'm not going to see it here. All right, we're looking at the one-day view here. Look at that. Oh, shit. You got it. Dude, it was a nice allocation. It was. I'll get Tickle up here and we'll talk about it. But real nice allocation, right? And by the way, I'm not selling any of my Epic yet. It doesn't make sense here at 16 million or so market cap. It makes no sense. I'm holding till 100, 150. I'm probably holding till... Honestly, I'm probably holding because I got enough of it, I think. I got to check on my wallet. It's got enough that, it's not going to be little when this market turns around, when things really start cooking. So I don't see any reason to sell it here at a $16 million market cap, especially what... okay, yeah, we definitely need to speak then, Tickle. I saw somebody tweet with an OMB that he got a 20,000 Epic drop, which doesn't make sense. I saw that tweet. I'm wondering if he had some OMB split in wallets. Otherwise... It would be weird if OMB's got a bigger drop than Epic holders. And I wonder if wireframes, it's a rarer blob, got a bigger allocation. I didn't check yet. That's 1 month? You sure? No, that's one day. That's how good we look right now. Mike, the Epic allocation looks like... oh, shit. Okay, I'm going to check my allocation. Blob allocation was like 20K. All right, okay, hang on. Tickle, I'm going to bring you up. We'll start riffing. I want to check my my allocation. Blob got 22. Okay. As long as Blob beat OMB. Respect to OMB, but Epic should get the biggest allocation. Now, again, wireframe getting it's pretty freaking sweet. So All right, Tickle, check DMs here in a quick sec. It's your guys' first time meeting Tickle. All right, uno momento, sirs. Let me give you a jam. A fitting jam. Here we go. Oh, shit. Wireframe got 60K, maybe? All right, hang on. I don't even know what wallet that's in. For real, 60K? Come on. I don't even know what wallet. Man, oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Epic. Nope. 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 Dude, I've got a spreadsheet. This shit, it's getting ridiculous. Where is my... For the life of me. Oh, this might be my Xverse, which... Man, that wallet's a pain in the ass. Respectfully, Xverse. All right. God, this song's awesome. Epic. I don't know if this is right. Hang on. Oh my God, this is so frustrating. I know you guys can't see. Xverse is a pain in the ass. All right, you hear Tickle? Tickle's here. Big Brother's here! All right, hang on. Boom!
Brother!
There he is. There's the man. Okay, hang on.
Brother!
Here we go. Good morning, sir. Good to see you, man.
How are you?
Our first time. Have you ever been on this show, Inside? Have you been on any of them before?
I was on one of them for like 5 minutes.
Hell yeah.
When, what's his name? Oh, what is his name?
English?
He was on, no, he had the Promethean in the background. This was in a previous iteration. He would come on like Thursdays. He was really into art.
Biggie freaking Poppins.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
He's such a
So
cool
I was
dude.
on one time for like 10 minutes with you and Biggie.
Do you guys know Biggie Poppins? I need to get his ass up here too. Biggie's so freaking awesome. That's right.
Man, look at that liquid. That liquid is nice.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. That's it. Actually, that's pretty much all I got, which is sad, but also super grateful still. Dude, I can't for the life of me remember where my
Man, your instinct though, right? You've been saying all the time you felt like there was something with wireframe. And I was like, Neuro has said nothing. But the thing is like, so one of the misconceptions, right? And I'm just gonna talk while you're looking for your thing.
Thank you.
Is that Blob team and Epic are the same, and they're not, right? So Blob, there's overlap, but it's not exactly the same people. So Neuro and Elock, right? They're the guys that lead Blob. They're the guys from Cypherpunk, Ghosts. They've got a couple other things cooking. Epic is really led by the guy who mined the Epic SAT. So it's XTB. And it was actually, there was sort of like it was kind of a joint, I don't want to say a joint purchase, but it was people from Blob and OMB.
I thought there was an OMB connection. And so that's probably why OMB got that big allocation.
That's why they got an allocation too, okay. Right? And so it wasn't, one of the things I've been having to sort of say in the Discord is people are talking about Blob and Blob dumping and, the allocation should have been much higher for Blob. And it's like, Blob is not a pre-rune. Blob is it's a code art science project.
Wow. Holy shit.
Did you find it?
Yeah. I think 60K was right. I don't know how much of that 73.5 is from other stuff. I don't know, but holy shit.
That's awesome.
So that's from the wireframe. And if things do, so if other things stacked, which I don't think they do, but decentralized I had in that wallet too. But if they don't stack, that means I got 1,000 or so from decentralized, right? Or Prometheans. Yes. And the rest was all from wireframe.
I think it's 60 is wireframe. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know. That's not been disclosed.
So then they do stack possibly? Like if you have like let me think, decentralized, but you also have another project that qualified, those could stack?
Here's what I can say, because there's a lot I can't say. Blobs get special treatment, and XTB, like always said, blobs, we're going to get a bigger allocation. Blobs are special. And so whether they're stacking, no stacking, additive, otherwise, blobs are special.
Dude, I'm actually I'm surprised. I'm kind of excited now. Okay, what is that worth? What is 73,000 Epic worth? Let's sell it and find out. No, I'm not.
I think the 20K-ish is like for a blob, it's like 350 USD. So,
dude, it's $1,000 freaking airdrop.
Yeah, right. So you got a blob airdrop to you for free, which itself is at what 0.03 Bitcoin right now. Free.
Holy shit!
And you just got like another 1K drop for just holding the airdrop of the blob. So like the stuff that Neuro and ELOC and XTB and those guys are building, like when they talk about cypherpunks write code and they want to push innovation and what it means to be part of this community, they literally put their money where their mouth is, like free money.
Can you explain something to somebody who's a little redacted? What is cypherpunk?
Yeah, so the cypherpunk movement is really a way to be able to preserve anonymity through like code, like blockchain is a way for people to be able to do like private transactions. The government should be out of things. And so a cypherpunk is someone who's like, I think, writing code for the purpose of like, you know what? I don't need to worm my way through this. Let me ask our friend ChatGPT. What is a cypherpunk? So there's lots of papers on this.
Yeah. I mean, it's like everyone, I instantly think CryptoPunk, but it's the way I hear people talk about it, I know it's not referring to like a collectible. It's a bigger thing, right?
So here's a good definition. A cypherpunk is an individual who advocates for the widespread use of strong cryptography and privacy enhancing technologies as a means to achieve social and political change. Cypherpunks believe the use of cryptographic tools is essential for protecting individual privacy, securing digital communications, and safeguarding against surveillance by governments and corporations.
I like it.
So it's very in keeping with blockchain ethos.
I was going to say that's shit. I mean, like ETH used to feel that. It used to feel like that, and it's lost that part of it. And Bitcoin is, where Henry always says like Kongs are like a little more degen and like grungy and all that. Bitcoin's always had that vibe to me.
Yeah.
The Bitcoin community and collectors and builders over there, it's a different breed. It's not the same as the ETH guys. There's some crossover, man. Like there's definitely crossover, but the Bitcoin ecosystem feels totally different to me. And that sums it up. It feels like that. It feels like a little more of a movement and like a counterculture. I don't think is the right word, but this maybe it is because it's absolutely started as that. So it does feel like the spirit of blockchain and the thing that I think all of us fell in love with probably is that. It's a great word. But yeah, so floor price, blob floor right now, 0.012. At its peak, dude, was like 0.07.
Yeah,
did it get a little higher even?
I think it was 0.07, 0.08 at its peak.
Yeah. It cooked. And I think all this stuff's going to cook again. I'm hoping at least. 0.06. Oh yeah, there's 0.074. And I was always looking at wireframes again, and those had a much higher floor. That to me, it was just okay. Out of the whole collection, it just stood out because it's the only. I mean, it's still the only like unique trait. You got different skins, but they're all split really evenly. Like everything is even in skins. Everything is even in realms, right? Like while there's different traits, it's an even number. Buddy's pretty damn even too. And then even this, I don't know what this is, blobs. Is that the little things that float around it?
Yeah, the number of blobs that are around it and the type. There's the type of them. Got
it. So yeah, even that split really evenly. Wireframe's the only thing that was just totally unique. It's either you have the wireframe trait or you don't, and there's 400. So it just made sense. If there's a trait, it's got to be for something. Now, I pictured, and maybe there's still more to this, I pictured that there's a longer-term vision, and I bet there is here, but that revolves around like these eyeballs. I thought the eyeballs are cool. I like seeing people put the eyes on their PFP. You've got it on your Quantum Cat in your background, and I put those on the thumbnail. I put them on myself on my thumbnail. I even got it on my Twitter banner now. And of course, I start speculating on fucking everything. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
They got not just a PFP, but they got a thing that lets you like enhance your PFP and a wireframe. I wonder if they're getting into like 3D models and this and that. And like, I start running with shit, and it gets a little crazy.
Well, so they already showed, they did it on either it was either on Neuro's account, but they did I think they might have done an inscription on the Epic Sat that was like a whole 3D video sound where there's like Grimes. They used like Grimes AI voice to create a song. Staketashi did music. They had the Blob mask. It was a whole 3D video that got inscribed on the Epic Sat because there is more coming. And they've kind of said like masks are coming, right? So masks that's what Neuro was working on before it morphed into Blob.
Can you explain that a little bit? The masks.
So what I remember, and this is like me reaching like into the well of knowledge as opposed to like fingertip kind of stuff. Neuro was working on the masks that had a kind of like visual, almost like an EEG, right? So like brain scans. And so he was taking his brain scan and then manipulating it with data. And then he was creating these masks that look like PFP. You can see it, I think, on his Twitter page. And so he was originally doing the Neuro realm, which was going to be these masks that had like audio and visual. But as they were trying to inscribe it at the time, it just became like super complex and expensive or otherwise. And they pivoted to Blob because I think Blob was going to serve as a useful precursor or test case for the way that maybe they could eventually get to, from a coding side and inscription side, the masks. So with the way that Blobs emerged, and then they were doing more tech innovation because Eloc is just a complete like coding genius on these kinds of things.
Eloc, man, these are names I'm not even familiar with some of these guys, which is it's a problem. It's a problem. I'm slacking. Eloc?
Yeah, Eloc. ELO. What is his? It's Eloc. Yeah, there it is. Eloc, the second one, right there. Yep. Eloc is the coding guy in this, and so when you look at his GitHub. Like he puts like a ton of that when they talk about like in are you still in Cypherpunk Ghosts?
Like their community, the Discord?
Yeah, the Discord.
Probably. I rarely leave them, so probably.
And so look at the Cypherpunk Lab manifesto right there. So this was like it's on the right-hand side, second one down on the GitHub. So back when Cypherpunk Ghost Discord released, this was like, gosh, March or April of 23. They were having people take that manifesto.html and they basically said like go through this and inscribe the manifesto. And that's like from Eloc's work. They were trying to, what's great about Cypherpunk Ghosts, it was not just bringing people into ordinals, it's teaching people how to code. And so they have a whole walkthrough video. If you see that like under the Cypherpunk manifesto, there's that hyperlink where it says further down, in that right there where it says file here, inscribing it. It's a whole video walkthrough. This was, again, back in 2023 of how to go through the whole process. And
I love this, dude. Well, real quick too, this also speaks to the Bitcoin community, the builders over there, like especially, it reminds me of Quantum Cats. They're not just here with a PFP and they're not just here, and they're not just taking your money. They're taking your money, some of them, like Quantum Cats weren't cheap, but you're there to learn, and you join that community because you want to be part of something bigger, not just like a bystander, right? You're not just there to watch somebody else do it. You become part of that project and that movement, and you become an ambassador for it in a different way because you do learn something like this. You do learn how to inscribe. You do learn in Quantum Cats about OpCat and some of these other op codes. It's really fucking interesting. And I don't see much of that on other blockchains. Solana, I bet it's there to a degree because that's a really technical bunch too. I don't see that on ETH too much, to be honest. And I know my way around that ecosystem, but Bitcoin feels very different. I didn't know about this too. So this is very much in line and in the spirit of this. It's very fucking cypherpunk, eh?
Well, and this is actually the way that people got whitelist in 2023 was if you inscribed your manifesto and basically pushed your wallet into the code base, you got whitelist and still have it for whenever Cypherpunk Ghosts release. And so they were they actually are And again, this is before Blob was kind of like kicking off and masks. Elock was sort of teasing what you think it's going to be a regular minting process. And so I think part of it, whenever they do release, it's going to be you need to write code. Like if you want to be an early minter and potentially be able to get what I don't know if it's a rare one. This is all speculation. I'm not part of Cypherpunk Ghost team, so I'm just speculating. If you want to get a kind of ghost, you're going to probably have to do some coding and not just click a button. Like Elock has said that. So yeah, Elock is he's the coding genius behind a lot of this work, and then Neuro kind of brings the art and the science to this. Yeah, so the two of them together, they are innovators in this space. They have a lab out in San Francisco, and so like Neuro, I've talked with him in DMs. He's like, man, you can come by anytime. You can you can crash on the couch.
What's his story, by the way? He's a doctor.
Yeah, I want to say he's a neuro. I don't know. He's not a neuroscience. Maybe he's some kind of MD. And so he was in medicine, but also like interested in art. Yeah, you can see the neural. It's based on, I believe, his like a neurological scan of his brain, like an EEG kind of thing. And so he's using that to create the thing. So he and I have actually talked about doing this. I mean, this is not alpha in any way, shape, or form. He and I have talked about, because I have a lot of like vision data and speech data.
Because Tickle is a scientist, just so people.
Yeah, kind of scientist. Yeah, and so I've got like I don't have brain data, but similar kinds of data for like when people speak and like eye tracking. I'm like, man, could we have a whole like brain behavior based collection where you've got the brain, you've got the eye, the like what people are looking at and what people are saying. And he's like, yeah, let's do something. So it's not going to, I doubt all materials because I don't have time and he's busy, but it would be cool to do something like that.
Oh, that's maybe sometimes where some of the best stuff comes. It's a passion project. It's a hobby. A lot of the best projects, they're not, man, these guys are not always going in to make money. They're going in to make something cool. To be honest, it's actually art. That's what it is. It's people just creating for the sake of creating. And it is that simple. So be cool if that materializes. If not, so be it.
Yeah.
If it does, that could be really, really fucking interesting. Would love to see it. Especially like just data and this stuff makes a lot of sense in collectibles, also art. Like I've gotten so into generative art, and again, there's that instant connection there. So I know you've got this wealth of data. That's your expertise, and you've dabbled in art before too with it. So it'd be really cool to see bring that to life in a bigger collection. One day. It would be really cool. So Neuro is the artist behind both, right? Blobs and Epic?
I would say the Epic, I'm trying to think of like there's other artists that are involved in Epic. Yeah, there's other artists that are doing work in Epic.
Okay. Are they unannounced? Like are some of these guys?
I'm trying to think. So it's they may be announced. It's also I don't remember, but I know there's a team. There's a team involved in this.
And so then when you say there's other artists involved, on the Epic side, is there more art to it than the Crown? Is it like the meme stuff? Like
there's like I think like meme stuff. That's probably fair to say.
Okay.
And I think I don't want to say more than that right now.
Sure. Is there more to come?
There's more. There's more to come. Like,
okay.
You don't. So what I was saying, you don't have something as big as like the Epic. Buying the Epic sat on the halving block and just releasing a rune.
Yep.
Right. Like you do more than that because there is like when you talk about provenance and opportunity and history and the team that's involved in this, it's like we're not just paying. What was it? They paid. It was 33 Bitcoin. Oh, yeah, right there, 33.3. You're not just buying that for the sake of having a rune.
I was wondering. I thought at first he was buying it for the sake of owning a little slice of history. Also, I might need you to remind. I'm going to take a stab at it. An Epic sat is the first sat on the first block after a halving. Is that right, or is that a little off?
I think that's right. I can't remember if it's only it's the only one that's on the. Oh yeah, right there. Right. So it's the first Satoshi mine. Yeah. So there's only 4 total. And this is the first one post the ordinals protocol.
Yeah, extra special then, right? So I think in total, in the entire life of Bitcoin, because we still have halvings to go at 100 years out, I don't remember off the top of my head. There's going to be more halvings, right? There are 4 epic sats in existence right now. There's only going to be, well, I guess this answers it. There's only going to be 32 epic sats ever. I think that's correct. It's not many. Like, let's just say ballpark, like 30. I think it's 32. If somebody knows that, we got some gigabrains here. How many epic sats will there be total? 32? Is it more? Is it less? Either way, it's one of the rarest things, literally one of the rarest digital artifacts or blockchain artifacts we will ever see. They're 1-1s, but there will, again, only be 32 ever on, the grandfather blockchain, on freaking Bitcoin. So it is special. That's why it sold for 32 Bitcoin, 33.3 Bitcoin. That is why. It is one of the rarest artifacts you can find out there. Interesting they're building on it, right? Just a rune would be probably noteworthy on its own, but the fact that they're going deeper and doing more. Do you know a time frame for anything else coming and any little hints at what more it could be?
Yeah, so I think like one hint, and again, this is me speculating based on what it says. Like somewhere on Neuro's account or on the Book of Blob account, there is, I believe, the video that was inscribed on the Epic Sat. And that's the one where it's like, it's a blob, it's Grimes's voice that was used for a song. Is it? Yeah.
I think it's this.
This is it. Yeah, Spike number 1.
I'm actually going to play this. You're going to see what we run into here on the show. You'll want to mute your mic for a second. Or if you just don't talk, it won't do this. But when I open up like this channel, you'll get an echo if you try talking. So just a heads up there. But I'm gonna play this real quick. And to Tickle's point, Grimes' voice is in here somewhere. And it was like, I believe it wasn't taking like a song of hers or an interview. I think this was recorded specifically for this. Is that correct?
I don't know if that's correct. I think they did. So one of the things you might remember is like, so Grimes is into crypto and AI, and she actually said anyone can use her voice for AI stuff. And if they create a song with her voice, she'll share the royalties with whoever does something. So I think that they used an AI version of her voice, and it's not that she created it specifically for this.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes way more sense. All right. I'm going to play this real quick. Maybe not the whole minute and a half, but I want to play it just so people get an idea of what was actually inscribed. Again, the video itself was inscribed on that sat, or was it like a link to the video?
I think it's the video itself. I think this whole minute 31, however many megabytes was inscribed on the sat.
Man, so cool. All right, I'm going to let it rip.
Book of Blob, Spike 1. In 2049, man merged with machine. The cosmos wrinkled, and Blob 9 was forged. In the fires of Spike 49, humanity, the synced, linked, outliers, the freedom fighters, neuropunks, guardians of the free mind, the Order of Mokai. Now it is your turn, young Blubba One. Reunite your family. Fight for your kingdom. Restore balance to the blob. An epic journey awaits.
It's so cool. By the way, I'm going to play more, but this is super
It's
fun.
awesome.
I don't think I heard her voice yet. I'm going to keep letting it play. Hey, so fucking cool, man. That is forever on chain, forever on the blockchain. Really freaking cool.
Now there's something in that. It's a little bit of alpha. It's been said before in certain discords, Cypherpunk Ghosts, I think Blob as well. Did you hear it said like Spike 1 and then it said Spike 49? spikes are a thing. Spikes are coming. When? We don't know. But there are 99 spikes. And I think it's probably reasonable to infer that when you have 10,000 blobs that are out there, who are the most likely to be able to qualify for a spike?
Wireframes?
My guess is that. I don't know. And that's not me being coy. I literally don't know, but I do know that spikes are coming. I know cypherpunk ghosts are coming. I believe masks are coming. So when people are like, it's there's the people that are not happy that there's not immediate gratification and all. People are like, well, what's the point of owning a blob? What's the utility? It's like, man, this is art and code on chain in ways that others aren't doing. Like Eloc and Neuro are pushing innovation and they're still doing it. They just don't talk about it. You'll just be surprised when they say, guess what? Here's the next thing, and these holders or these people get to benefit from that.
Man, it's again very Quantum Catsy. Do you want to be part of that movement? Not just like hanging around watching somebody do it. Do you want to be part of it? Because they can't do it. Dude, I've learned this a fuck ton over the past few years. You can work and build and build and build and build. It takes more than that to actually build something successful. Like the communications part of it and the marketing of it is just as important as the effort you put in. Fuck, I mean, this morning, who was it? DeSolter, I think, put out a tweet like, hard work isn't enough. And he's right. Yeah. It is hard work, but you need the other part. You need people to give a shit about what you're building. If you want to be part of it as a participant, well, blobs are entering that conversation as being one of those kind of communities. To me, the parallel is Quantum Cats. I see it. Very technical, very artsy, very community-driven, but the community, again, actually being part of that process with you. Both sides are necessary. You need the building and you need the product. You need the people who are in it, too, pushing your message out there. And, again, learning right along with you. Man, and what's interesting here, this is similar to when NFTs and crypto and all that stuff clicks and you get it for the first time, you never lose it. I don't know anybody that's gotten into crypto and is left because they don't believe in it anymore. You know, maybe you're out for a while because you get wrecked or something, right? And you leave for a while, but you still get the technology, you get the movement, you understand where things are going. Man, it's the same thing with these kind of projects. You get to be a part of something like this that clicks and you're a part of that process that is changing. It's changing the shape of Bitcoin. It is changing the future of Bitcoin at the technical level. It's so freaking cool. I love these kind of projects a lot. So all of that tells me I'm not selling a single fucking epic. I'm not selling any runes. I'm not. It doesn't make sense to sell here. Well, let me pull this up. Let me pull up the runes market cap, which we looked at yesterday. The total, like the global rune ecosystems market cap, actually up a little since yesterday, which is awesome, but getting really, really close to $1 billion. I'm not selling here, which I consider damn near the bottom. It is. It's basically the bottom. I feel like, guys, not financial advice, right? Always say that, but I feel like you'd be crazy to sell. Now, if you need liquidity or whatever, I get it. But I can't fathom selling a single one right now. It just doesn't make sense to me. The upside's too big. Bitcoin it's near a sentiment low for this cycle. Makes no sense to sell right now. So I'm not selling. And very cool to see I got a bag. So that's pretty fucking cool. But I'm in it. I was not a close follower of Blob. You know that. Like, I've not really been engaged in the community. Like, I've had that Blob. I like it. I like getting the rune, but I've not been engaged. But I did not realize there was a bigger plan. I didn't realize I could be part of it, again, like Quantum Cats. So I think I'm in it now, man. Really
what's cool, and you taught me this, right? Because you and Henry were the guys that brought me into Web3. And when it was like at the time of transitioning from, like, you guys had me start with Vivi, right? Get familiar with setting up wallets and buying crypto and doing stuff. And then moving over to Tez and buying art and then into ETH. And you're like, you guys basically said, and because we were talking a lot about this, it's like you buy the art you like, but then when it comes to these other projects, you buy sort of like into the team. And for all the lessons that I learned on ETH, that's one that stuck with me. So when I moved over to Ordinals in 2023, and I saw who are the people that are doing some cool building, like Butashi at Bitcoin Booze was one that when I saw his project, I was like, man, I want to get to know this guy and what he's doing. And then without question, when I found Cypherpunk Ghosts, I think it was English who told me about it. And it was like the first day or two that it opened. and I saw what they were doing, and I immediately, I think I was actually one of the first people to get whitelist and cypherpunk ghosts. Like I was that early, and because Neuro kind of said like, what is the color associated with like, and it was like a hexa, like the hexa code associated with colors. And I found it pretty quickly, and I got whitelist. And so I started chatting with Neuro in DMs, and these are the early days, right? Like people are just creating stuff. And I was like, this is a guy, and this is a project. I want to follow whatever they do in ordinals. And fortunately, I've been fortunate enough to then be part of the Blob team, to get into Epic, like to get to know these guys a little bit. And it's like, yeah, these are, Neuro, Elok, Mutashi. They're the ones that I want to continue to see their innovation in this space.
It's a good bunch, like very smart. And again, very, very like not on brand, whatever, on brand for that Bitcoin space. What else? Like, what can you tell me about Mask still? It's going to be an Ordinals collection.
Yeah, it's going to be an Ordinals collection. I think it's like five. Oh, it looks like Florancid, 512 masks, 99 spikes. Now, so here's one of the things people should be thinking about, and I don't yet know the answer. People were getting whitelists for the masks before Blob was a thing. And so I don't know if that carries over still, but it's just something that if you originally got whitelist from Neuro, like just don't forget about that. Like masks are still in play at some point. So,
and we don't know how you get whitelist yet, or
so for a while it was like, and this is maybe the first, I don't know, little bit. If you interacted with Neuro on his mask-based posts, he would respond with like a welcome to the Neuro realm kind of thing. I don't know where that's at. It could entirely change. But that's all I know right now. But I know that like, when they moved to Blob, because what they were trying to do with masks was from a coding perspective, challenging. So they shifted to blobs, and we see how great blobs are. I can only imagine how great masks are going to be.
Okay. Are they wearable? Okay. I've always liked AR masks. I've always liked those. I always wanted to have my NFTs made. Is it something like that? Again, they've got this like theme now of things, at least the way I look at them, things you can decorate your PFP with. Again, the crown, the eyes, masks feel very similar. Do you know anything about that? I want to wear, dude, I just want a digital mask. You will never see my face again. Thank God, right? But you can see my mask, I hope.
I would not be surprised if Elok is cooking up something like that. Like, and the reason he is worth both a follow and a noti is he teases stuff pretty, not often, but often enough for him, where it's like, oh man, he's cooking up something pretty cool. Some of it's cryptic, some of it is like just code and things, but I would not be surprised if they're going to push the boundaries of what another kind of ordinal looks like. Yeah.
Interesting. Fuck. Yay. Now I get to let my imagination run wild.
Oh, look, hover here for a second. Do you see that rug me?
Yeah.
Elok actually has a collection on Magic Eden called Rug Me.
Okay.
And it was one where it started as just a stick figure, and then he showed people through GitHub how you could add, I think it was like, I don't know if it was recursive, but people had to add color to their background. So those are not ones that people minted and they got orange or purple. You actually, you saw for a second there, it's a cursed inscription, and it actually has two components to it. Yeah, so it actually is recursive. So you actually had to program the color that you wanted, and then you got the ordinal back. So they are a lot of times not just saying, here you go. They're saying like, come with us.
It's so, I love seeing this. By the way, these little things that might sound simple, as in do a thing and you get the color of your NFT changed, basically. Understand that this is a new foundation being built. This is almost like a work in progress, right? Like this stands alone as its own thing, but all of this is adding to the Bitcoin ecosystem. And once people like start playing around with these recursive inscriptions and all these different things you can do, right? It's just building on, and the next person iterates, and the next person iterates, and the next person. These are just these little building blocks of turning this Bitcoin ecosystem. I hate to use and keep talking quantum cats, but it's making this whole ecosystem magical. But you're witnessing it live through these collections who are pushing these boundaries here. So just to understand, again, it might look simple, but it is a much, much bigger thing going on. And it's a really special thing in the Bitcoin ecosystem. Just the builders out there, different breed.
Now, it's sort of an NFA DYOR, of course, right? You see that offer accepted in the upper right there.
Wait, say that again?
Oh, see on the Magic Eden page, like the offer that was accepted just on the purchase side of things.
This guy here?
Like, yeah, I put in an offer for that because if you see, like, it's Eloch. He is a whether it's co-founder, co-developer, co-owner of stuff. There are only 69 of these rugmies. Nothing's been like, they exist. So I don't have as good of spidey sense as you do on a lot of this stuff in terms of gut, but there's just something of like, look, there's only 69 of them. It is worth an 005 bid on these that maybe when spikes come around, maybe when masks come around, if you are in the Neuro Eloch ecosystem of ordinals, there's something there. I would not be surprised.
That's a great bet. That's how the space works, especially again on Bitcoin, where they seem to all these projects seem to reward holding something earlier. These guys reward the people who believe in them, holders of their collections, especially the small ones. So that's probably a really smart play here. Plus, it's just cool, and you're right, 0.005, not a bad amount to throw at something that's just part of something bigger. So These are cool. What are the inscription numbers here?
I don't think they're anything special.
Okay.
They were done like was it early 24 or maybe late 23, something like that.
Yeah, it looks like November. Okay.
But it's still sort of a it's a Neuro is leading blobs, right? He is the face and the name for it. This is Eloch's, right? So it's like for Eloch's thing. It's about teaching people how to code, and there's only 69. It's like, that's just, again, for someone who is big on what those two guys are building, it was a no-brainer to put in sort of like a stink bid and it get accepted.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's pretty fantastic. GG's, man. That's a nice pick up there, and I think is pretty damn smart. All right, Cosmos is asking, what are your thoughts on cursed inscriptions? I hear people ask this. I'm curious.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. I know there's people that are big on cursed. I know I picked up a sub 10K cursed just because in Ordinals community where people might quibble about whether or have different perspectives on like sub 1K definitely matters, sub 10K who knows, but sub 10K is a meta. Cursed, maybe it comes around as a kind of meta and then it matters. I don't know. I'm not good at this kind of stuff.
Yeah, the only reason I don't think it does, it always will to a small degree, but like how much it matters, it's just, I think it matters a little, just like, I think it matters a little. There's like, what, 500,000 cursed inscriptions, which in the context of how many sats there are, like hundreds of billions, I think it's hundreds of billions, if not more, total sats. It's certainly way smaller, but I think 500,000 at anything. Go look at any collection on ETH that has a supply of 100,000. I think you're going to be hard-pressed to find one that's got like pretty significant value. But it's the right combination of it's cursed and then this and then the big artist, all that stuff. That's where you could find some magic. So that's pretty cool. It's there are some funny metas over in that space. Funny traits that people want to say are valuable. They're valuable if other people agree they're valuable. And are there enough? There are for some of them, for sure. So I
bought a sub 10K cursed on speculation that it's similar to like both you and I and Henry, we collected stuff as kids, like everyone does. You were big on comics. I was big on baseball cards. Mm-hmm. And it's like picking up a type of baseball card. It's like, do I think it's valuable? No, but maybe someone else, if I go to a card show, maybe someone else is willing to pay for a premium because they think it's cool. So maybe I get an ROI. Maybe it's just something that sits in my wallet. I don't know. I mostly look at all these things as it's your ticket stub, it's your timestamp, it's just a cool memento. And I scroll through my wallets and I look through them, and I just did that recently, looking through my my MetaMask wallet, looking at my ETH NFTs going back 3 years now. It's a good time doing that. And man, when you do that and you look at your cursed sub 10K inscription, you're going to stop there and remember the time and the significance of it. And even this kind of conversation, we were wondering, would it matter? Would it not? It's just part of the experience. And for that reason alone, they're great to have. Right. So there's a lot of angles to it. I want to hit
While I got you here, do I got you for a couple more minutes?
Yeah, I could probably do like 10, 15 if you want to talk
Perfect.
Epic or other stuff.
Well, I got like 5. First off, do you have anything else to share, Epic, Blob related, anything in that world?
Nothing in particular, I don't think.
Any other like
Epic,
immediate milestones, I guess?
I think the Epic drop is almost, it should be almost done at this point. Just one note for people who are, there are a lot of people in the Discord that are asking questions like, I qualified, I'm not seeing it. If you are using a Magic Eden wallet, Magic Eden has sort of said that there's a delay in ordinals and runes showing up. That's a couple days old issue. They're in the process of fixing it. So check Jenny data. That's the best place to be able to see if it's actually in your wallet. Drop should be almost done. And then it's next steps.
I love it, dude. Appreciate you coming in and well, just riffing on this stuff. I mean, it is a big moment. It's probably the biggest thing happening in the space right now in the Bitcoin side of things. Big mint yesterday from BTC Machines. Is that right? Is it Zbit?
Yeah, the Zbit loot boxes.
Yeah. So that happened, but I think very easily the Epic drop is the biggest thing going on this week on the Bitcoin side. So pretty awesome to see that. Why don't we hit then real quick, kind of how we started the show, but talking about the German government selling off this Bitcoin. So I don't remember if I pulled this up earlier, other than I might have had it on screen, but not reference it directly. But again, here you see them continuing to dump. Man, their bags here. What is this?
Wow.
Yeah, it was 362 mil as of the time of this tweet. I want to see if they actually have sold off more. But I'm just. You got any thoughts about how the market is handling that kind of that amount of Bitcoin actually being sold here the past 24, 48 hours?
I mean, I am old enough, I think, just chronologically, that these seem like blips, right? It's like, yeah, it's a sell-off, it's expected, it's not surprising. And so in the grand scheme of things, is this a problem for Bitcoin and ordinals and runes? It's like, no, this is just the time to accumulate for me. I am not worried by these things. I'm actually more excited by these things.
I mean, especially when you consider a few months ago, we were much lower, just a few months ago. So it's, in context, it doesn't feel like this is so bad at all. And I think the floor is just holding up. Why am I calling the floor? I'm talking about a floor price of Bitcoin, but price is holding up extremely well, man. Now the Mt. Gox stuff, it's still coming. I'm legit worried about that still. I am, but we've got the counter to that, I think, here. And the counter is the FTX funds making it back to creditors. So similar to Mt. Gox, people who had lost money with FTX are getting to some degree, a smaller degree, but paid back. But it's a much bigger sum, right? Wow. In total, 14 to 16 billion. And they're not getting crypto back to dump, right? They're getting cash. And a lot of those guys are crypto investors and traders, NFT traders even, right? So we have 14 to 16 billion dollars hitting, well, again, creditors. Let's say a quarter of them are crypto people. I mean, well, fuck, that's stupid. They're all crypto people. Let's say a quarter of them are active crypto people. Would that couple billion make it into this space again, be reinvested? I think there's a pretty damn good chance that we see a few billion of that roll back into crypto. Pretty good chance, guys. That's playing it, I think, conservatively too, which could kind of counter the Mt. Gox stuff. Timing's going to be really interesting. This will happen October through November. That's when we're expecting this to start reaching creditors. Maybe it extends a little longer as some of these guys put out info without giving us accurate dates or even any dates, but that is the time frame I'm hearing. Again, would be a nice counter or would be a nice way to rebound from the Mt. Gox stuff. So I think the next few months setting up to be pretty fucking interesting here. Pretty interesting.
And it reinforces why runes are just such a smart play. If these crypto people are getting money back and they buy the Bitcoin dip right now, and they look at what other chains are like with what ETH and Solana have and their meme coins and what their top ones are, we're nowhere near that in Bitcoin. So having Dog, for me, having Dog, having Decentralized, having Epic, those are just no-brainers. Like, they're gonna have their day. So it's why I'm unwilling to sell, my 1,000 or my 20,000 or whatever I have in Epic right now. It's like good. Like, I get why people will. Good for liquidity if you need it, but I am hodling that.
Yep. Incredibly smart. All right, guys. Tickle, thank you so much for joining, man. Like, we got to make this a little more regular of a thing, especially as you're, growing your experience and your influence in this space. It's pretty incredible to see. So you're welcome back anytime, especially when there's stuff going on in the collections you work with. But thank you, dude. This was fucking
Thank you,
awesome.
sir. Man, this was fun. Appreciate being up. Good chatting with you, and I'll see you on the other side of this.
Yeah, awesome, guys. Make sure you're following SlamX.io over on X, but also give this man a... What the fuck, Tickle? give Tickle a follow. My big brother. Guy's awesome. Guy is killing it in this space. It's incredible to see. As you saw, incredibly smart dude. So give him a follow. He is at TickleSnarf10 over on X. Guys, I hope your day is awesome here. We'll be live with the afternoon show at 4:30 p.m. Eastern time right here on SlamX. We got Joe, we got Henry, myself. We'll be talking about all today's topics. Guys, have a great late morning, early afternoon. We'll see ya.